So I'm back with more decorated boxes. Now I've done plenty of boxes before, and many of mine have lots of tiny bits and pieces of jewelry on them. So I wanted to go for a bit of a different look. And I started with these round wooden boxes. They have just one hinge and a simple closure. Now 3 are done, and the 4th one over there I will decorate together with you. So first to this one, it's mainly black. On the top I used a brooch of a peacock, and I left the jewel which came with it free. The rest got painted. I created texture with the stencil, and I used pretty teal metallic paint to color even the inside. Now here I used a charm of a fish which I recolored. I had charms of flip-flops which I recolored, and then created texture with my paste and colored it with alcohol inks. Now the little links around it are meant for jewelry making and gave the lid a great border. Here I went for the wood look. It's just brown wood polish, and all the boxes have a clear varnish finish. And now to this one. I used die cuts of leaves. I layered them so it has nice textures. I outlined them and embossed the lines. And then I added a piece of a broken earring, a flower, to the middle. Of course, it all got pretty colors. And here too, the rest is kept in the brown wood polish. So these are the 3 I already completed, but let me start decorating this one together with you. So first, when I start with these boxes, if they have closures, etc., I take all the hardware off. That way it's easier to work with the box, but also it keeps the hardware free from paint or anything else you might want to add. I always keep all the little bits and pieces in one of my bowls so I don't lose anything. And next I want to use a doily instead of a stencil, and I use some rough texture paste here, and I use it on the top and on the sides of the lid. Now using a doily instead of a stencil actually gives a very different look, and I quite like the effect of it. I was reminded when I did the little box with texture paste, the other one you saw with the flip-flop, of my sandbox days when I was really little. I remember my mom giving me an old doily to decorate my sand cakes with. And so I thought, well, that should work really well with texture paste. So in order to clean my doily afterwards easier, I made it wet, and as you can see, I just press it into the texture paste, and in this case I'm also doing the sides. Then I let it rest just enough to wash my hands, not too long, and then I pull it off. And voila, I have a nice imprint. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it's different than a stencil. It's not as crisp, but it's really nice to work on, and I quite like the look of it. Now, because I used a lot of texture paste, this needs to dry for quite a while, and my doily can be washed and can be used again. Now, as soon as my box was dry, I covered everything in black paint, and then I will be using my metallic paints in different shades of teal, a little bit of green, a dry brush and a light touch to bring out the texture. And it took a little while, but it's always a lot of fun to do this step, and I think the final result is really nice. So I leave you to a little bit of music, and I will talk to you in just a wee bit. So my little box is all done, and here are all 4 of them together one more time. Now these 3 here I showed you in detail right in the beginning, and of course you saw me put this one together. Now the texture is absolute my favorite. To me it looks like the old vintage stucco designs on an old house, and I just like the feel and the look of it. And the jewelry pieces make it special as well. The flowers have green and teal stones embedded, and I think working with broken jewelry just gives that special look, which I really like. So here the inside is plain black. 2 of the boxes have a black finish, 2 have the brown wood grain finish. Now I gave you 4 different designs, very different, but all rather simply to make. And I hope they gave you some ideas of what you could do to decorate boxes. Now, if you rather buy one of my boxes, you absolutely can, because they are available in my Etsy store together with many other items. The link to my store will be below in my description box. It's called Ina's Art Room as well. And I will have a holiday sale starting today all the way through December 20th, and it will include a really good discount. So you don't want to miss it. You might just find the gift you were looking for or something special just for yourself. So that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for coming. I see you really soon again. Until then, bye bye for now.